Welcome to another episode of the Behind the GAVL podcast. I am shocked that we have actually made it to episode 3. Now, to some, that may not be a big number. To me, it is a big number because, when people start things, the hardest thing is to keep them going and to commit, even though we may not see the amount of listeners that we would like to see to this. Actually, it's doing pretty decent, but you got to stick with things to get them to where you want them to be. You got to learn from your mistakes, and you got to learn from your, anything you mess up, you just got to keep on going, and it's going to get better with time. So if you're listening to this, thank you for listening to the podcast so far. If you haven't listened to the first 2 episodes, I highly encourage you to. There was some really good stuff in there. For new listeners, Behind the GAVL podcast is just kind of a peek behind the curtain of what it's like to work in a digital marketing agency in the legal industry. We talk about kind of the news, what's going on in the industry, and then what's going on with GAVL. Sometimes we invite some of our friends on the podcast from, different vendors, different organizations that we work with, things that are going to help our listeners, whether that's our clients, other law firms in the industry, lawyers in the industry, competitors, whoever it is that may be listening to this. We want to provide value to everybody. Today, I am delighted to be joined by Jess Spino from the Injury Board. Now, the Injury Board is the number one trial lawyer organization, in my opinion, in the country. It is all the best of the best, highly vetted. You have to be in leadership to become Injury Board. It's invitation only. It's the exclusivity of the exclusivity when it comes to a trial lawyer organization. So Jess brought her multifaceted expertise in traditional and digital marketing, event management, and client account management to Injury Board. As a systems and branding expert and former fractional COO, she spent over 8 years collaborating with some of the most prominent names in the online space, helping them scale to 7 figures and beyond. Her strengths include project management, personal and business branding, funnel building and optimization, design, content creation, copywriting, social media management, organic marketing, and sales. That is a lot. Jess is a powerhouse when it comes to this space, and she's a big asset to Injury Board and where Injury Board is looking to go now and into the future. Oscar, without further ado, let's bring in Jess. Jess, welcome to the pod.
Hey, thanks for having me, Ryan. So excited to be here.
Absolutely. I read your intro there, and I did not know I could read that good. So that's a new one for me. Maybe I will attempt to read a book sometime soon. With that said, tell me just a little bit more about yourself. You've been in the industry for a while. How long have you been with Injury Board? How has it been going so far? Tell me about what you're doing.
Yeah, so I've been with Injury Board just over a year, and I just love being able to kind of, versus being my own business owner and being a contractor, being able to be in the weeds with my clients every single day and not have to worry about how they get to me. I am really passionate about marketing, but it's nice to be in a situation where I just get to do the work that I love and do what I'm great at and not have to worry about marketing my own business and finding the clients that I want to work with. So that's one of the really wonderful things about being part of Injury Board's team.
That's awesome. And one thing I didn't say in the intro, one of the big reasons why you're here and why we talk about Injury Board all the time. And, a lot of our clients are Injury Board clients. Obviously, all of your clients are Injury Board clients.
Right.
So hopefully, we have some of our clients who are Injury Board members who are listening to this and are going to get more information and more knowledge about what Injury Board is doing. I know you have been doing a lot of stuff and evolving the organization to the next level. They're making big moves, big strides to really even double down on. We are growing this group that is a collective of the best in the nation. Actually, in Europe and in other countries as well, in Canada. Before we get into more work stuff, what's one thing you're genuinely excited about right now, either personally or professionally? Little icebreaker.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit of both. So personally and professionally, I'm excited to get out of the Buffalo snow because that's where I reside. home of hot wings and cold weather and
Mm.
football heartbreak. And I'm excited to get to AAJ in San Diego and get a little sunshine. My husband and one of my two daughters will be joining me.
Very nice.
So it will be personal and professional, and I'm going to get that sunshine, and I'm going to get to see some of my amazing members in person, which is always great. And I just get a ton of energy from that environment and being in community with them. So I'm really excited for that.
That's awesome. How old are your daughters?
So I have my 18-year-old daughter will be with us. And then my 15-year-old daughter is actually doing 6 weeks overseas in Australia. She's in Melbourne right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So she will be not joining us for that trip because she's somewhere also very, very exciting and very, very warm right
Very cool. Well, if she ever does go to AAJ, I know the babysitting scene can
now.
be very lucrative there. So I actually, and you can, maybe you can help me in my future because I have a 6.5-year-old daughter and a 2.5-year-old daughter.
All right.
So maybe some of the, give me a little notebook on
Yeah.
how to handle them when they get into the teenage years.
Yes.
Right now,
Absolutely.
luckily, they're fairly easy, but I hear it
Yeah.
gets maybe a little more difficult down the
Yeah.
road.
Just different problems. You got this, Ryan.
All right, I'll try. It can't be as hard as the snow. I know I grew up in upstate New York. I know all about Buffalo snow. I went to school in Rochester.
Oh, yeah.
Um, yeah,
Okay.
it's we have our fair share here in Williamsport. We got like
Yeah.
18 inches a couple weeks ago and still on the ground. Sucks because I want to play golf. Anyway, well, that's great. AAJ's coming up, which is crazy. It's only a couple weeks away.
No.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there, but our team's going to be there. We have a great team, and anyone listening to this too that is an injury board member, IB puts on a great happy hour, great dinner. Even if you're a prospective injury board member, I highly encourage you to reach out to Jess after the show, get some information, join them. It's a really a wonderful time. Let's dive in a little bit. Tell us a little bit more. I talked about injury board already. Tell us a little bit more about what injury board is. What's your mission? What are your membership requirements?
Yeah, absolutely. So you did a great job of kind of sharing that we are really exclusive and we pride ourselves on having a member group that is the best of the best. They are all amazing plaintiff facing attorneys that are really passionate about the pursuit of civil justice. And what makes us so special is that we really keep these members in community with each other, to learn best practices, to talk about things that keep their firms, going and keep their firms really successful. And also we talk really honestly about like what's not working. And I think that's kind of a rarity as well. So we have a really active member base, and it's really just a great place for our members to be. One of the things that I will also mention is that there are very rigorous criteria for our members to actually get into the injury board. So they definitely need to have held a local or national trial lawyer association or bar association position, and or they must be certified, board certified in the area of trial law. So these are all really important. One other thing that I think makes us pretty special and really fosters this environment of collaboration versus competition is that we do sort of limit by geographic area. So really it's just sort of one member per region, and we won't, kind of stack up
Yeah.
members in one area. So really there are actually a limited number of spots for members to join. It is not fake FOMO or fake scarcity. It really is a real limitation. So
Yeah. And we appreciate that too on the corporate
yeah,
side,
of
even with
course. Yeah.
vendors, non-competitors, it's great. And it's true too, because from the outside looking in, I'm part of the listserv. Almost every day there's somebody looking to refer a case out to somebody else. Everyone, even in same markets sometimes,
Mhm.
it's people in this group really are doing plaintiff's trial law for the right reasons.
Mhm.
They truly are the best of the best, and if they can't be the best for a specific case, they're gonna refer it to who they think will take the case to be, and who can handle it the best.
Right. And I think
Um,
that's so refreshing, right?
Very refreshing. So your one of your roles really is helping to take injury board to be a little more cutting edge. There's the listserv, and the listserv is great. It has its place, but now with how technology is evolving, and there's so much information, and to be able to access all of the information and the resources, now the amount of resources that injury board is offering and growing to, I think there's going to be some listeners on here that are our clients, injury board members, who may not necessarily know of some of these things. So we were talking recently in a meeting, and we're really talking about this new membership portal. And I
Yeah.
think it's really, really cool. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about what the membership portal is that injury board members have access to, and how can they use it, and what can you do now? What's the future look like?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think part of this need really came from, you mentioned the listserv, and people have said, so often it would be so awesome if we could take all this information on the listserv and just kind of put it in a place that is indexable and searchable. So it would be easier for us to find these things. So, we started thinking, and, at one point we had lots of different spreadsheets going with all of this information kind of aggregated on there, and thinking of all these different ways to do that. And I think we felt the need for a long time to have some sort of community that was exclusive, where you could log in and get access to all these resources. But I don't think we, as a smaller team, we didn't really have the capacity to do it. Maybe in some cases, not the knowledge. And then, enter me a year ago with this big background in the virtual space, and really building lots of courses for different people in the coaching sector. So this was something that I was like, "Oh yes, like this is my project. I
Yeah.
can totally sink my teeth into this." So we decided to use, rather than custom code and build a platform, we worked with one of the solutions that was out there, and now our platform's built on Membership.io, which was formerly Searchy. And we really just started to think about how we can get all of these resources we've been collecting into one place that would make our members sort of reduce friction in their workflow, and give them the ability to like log in and make, the right best practice decision easily and effortlessly. So we built the portal, and right there on the homepage, it's just sort of an easy access to all of the events that we have going on that current month. All the registration links are right there. Basically, just keeping everything top of mind, and just letting people know, our firms are very, very busy. So just putting that information right in front of them and saying, here's what's coming up. Links are here. Get it all done as soon as you log in. So that was kind of the first layer. And
Yep.
then beyond that, we also have our resource library, where we have lots of just downloadables grouped by subject. Some of those come from sources outside IB. Some of them are best practices that we've curated, and some of them come direct from our members. So we really encourage this kind of peer source community of information, where our members can actually drop their information as well. So
That's
sometimes
awesome.
yeah, we'll pull it from the listserv, but there's actually a place right on the portal where they can actually just click to upload, and they can put their own documentation right up there. So it's really awesome when it gets to things like, depositions and
Yeah, I know.
different
I always see,
letters.
on
Yeah,
the listserv, an attorney may be like, "Hey, do you guys have
yeah,
a document for this specific case I'm working on?"
right.
And almost instantly, someone always is like, "Oh yeah, here you go. I got this."
Yeah, so
You
we've
know,
started kind of grabbing that stuff and putting it into the portal. So I encourage any injury board members that might be listening that haven't had a chance to check it out, definitely go and just spend 5 minutes poking around. You'll be amazed at how much is in there, both breadth and depth of information. So it's really cool. And then we also have on there we do host, I think we're up to seven, correct me if I'm wrong, 8 working groups now. So all of our working groups the past recordings are in there. Sometimes we'll make special resources for a particular topic we're covering, so you can download all those. So it's really just a great place. It's a great kind of one-stop shop, and
that
it's
is
a great
so
place to
beneficial too, because I've been on several of the marketing working group meetings,
start.
and it's great. But then afterwards, everyone's like, "Oh, can we get a recording?" Or people missing stuff.
Yeah,
Now having this location where it's just super easy, you don't have to go to like the Facebook group anymore.
right.
and you don't have to have a special login or anything. You already log into the portal and you can just stream it right away. I
Yeah.
mean, it's amazing.
I love that you appreciate that and that you love it. And it's, it's great to hear
It
from
just
you.
reduces friction is what it is. We live in a fast-paced society where we need things quick or we wanna see things quick, and also it's easier to discover what is there. So if you're a new member coming in, you already have a couple days worth of resources. You can just
Right.
sit down and binge, you
Right,
know?
absolutely. And I know too, when you are really, really busy as a professional, sometimes, you do want things right now. You want things on demand because you might have, a little 5 minute or 10-minute slice that you can access something and you don't want to have to email somebody and say, "Can you hand this to me?" It's nice to be able to go in and self-serve, and we've done our best to keep it really organized and keep it really intuitive so people know exactly where to go, and it's a work in progress. We keep, we welcome any feedback on it and we keep just growing, improving, and constantly updating. So it's been a really fun project to work on.
I love that, and there's a lot of resources for, paralegals too. So,
Mhm.
I encourage, and I know everyone encourages, but, if you're an attorney listening to this, give your paralegal access to it, and let them learn through all these great resources.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you brought that up, Brian, because that's one thing I think a lot of people don't know about Injury Board is that it's not just your partners and not just your attorneys that are members. When you join the Injury Board, your entire firm has membership. So I work one-on-one in our member success meetings lots of times with paralegals, with intake managers and intake specialists, marketing people. It can be anyone in the firm that can access and utilize our portal, but also our meetings and our services. So it's a really robust membership offering for sure.
That's awesome. Where do you see this kind of going in the next year, 2, 3 years? It's all about, getting feedback from the community and then implementing. Like, is this just like, hey, let's just mold this to whatever the group kind of wants? What are your kind of thoughts on that? Where do you see this going?
Yeah, I think that is definitely there's a lot of things we've discussed as far as like the roadmap goes for the development of the portal. I know something that we've tossed around that I think would be really awesome. And whether we actually do move forward with it or not, one of the things we've talked about is having just kind of firm specific areas of the portal. So, for example, if you were to be working on projects with us, in member success and we were working on certain types of things, there would be a place that you could go instead of, just us, handing you or emailing you attachments afterwards, where you could actually just go and like see that right on your
Yeah.
so you could log in and just access like our historic record of all of the documents and all the projects and everything we're working on live in those meetings. So that's maybe to come. And I think there's just so much opportunity to really grow. And, I also think having a discussion feature on there would be really amazing. We never want to replace the listserv. The listserv is not going anywhere and it's super,
Yeah.
super high value, but it would be great to have an opportunity to engage. So I'm just hoping that we can, as the portal grows, that and really this is just across the board. I want to just continue to hear more from our member firms versus us, giving them the information, but really them talking to each other.
Yeah,
So
I think that's great. And also, if you're listening to this, talk to your team and say, hey, if you're not currently engaging with injury board, my paralegals, my junior attorneys, whoever it is, ask them like, hey, what would you guys like to see,
yes.
from this collective knowledge? What kind of webinars would you like to see? What kind of
Yeah.
resources would you like to see? There's so many experts that are a part of injury board where building this to just a crazy robust knowledge base, I
Mhm.
think is so valuable. Jess, I really appreciate you being on the podcast and just talking about this.
Yeah.
I think it's really important. And where can people get a hold of you, and how can they be in touch if they want to provide feedback, have ideas, join injury board? What would be the best approach?
Yes, absolutely. So I would say the best way is to email our department, and we'll get you right to the right place because member success is what we do. Easy to remember. It's member success at injuryboard.org. And from there, we'll get you to the right place. You can shout me out if you heard me here. I would love to know that you were listening. My colleague Carla, we are very, very proud of what we do, and we love to support our members and prospective members as well. So, yeah, shoot us an email. That's definitely the great way to get in touch. Or you can also hit us up on the website as well, injuryboard.org.
Awesome. Hey, thanks a lot, Jess, and I will see you soon.
You will indeed. Thank you so much for having me, Ryan.
All right, be well. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Ryan.
Welcome to episode 3, Behind the GAVL podcast. How do you feel about being behind the gavel?
Well, it's been fun so far. I've gotten to be on every episode so far, which is great.
That's crazy. This could be the last episode.
No,
I'm just kidding.
something lined up next week already. We're pumped.
Yeah, I'm very excited about next week. Actually, I will just drop the ball right here and just throw this out there, and hopefully they don't cancel on me, but we will be interviewing the CEO of Eve,
Yay.
AI software. I think who's the best in the biz. They were actually supposed to be on this podcast, but I was sick and was not able to record. So that's, that's on me.
Glad you're feeling better. I have a little story about how I just met Jay, the CEO of Eve,
Oh, sweet.
at the NTL Summit in Miami this past week. It was great. Beautiful Miami. And he had already sent over his headshot for the podcast. And I happened to get into the elevator in our hotel with him. And I was like, hey, are you Jay? This might be weird, but I've seen your picture. And I just introduced myself, and he was super sweet, great guy. He was heading over to the summit to actually speak, I think. So he was on a couple of panels or maybe, presentation, the
Nice.
speaker on that faculty. So yeah, he's
Nice.
great. He's excited to be here next week.
Speaking of the summit, how did you enjoy it? I know Miami was nice. We had a blizzard here.
Yeah.
You got out just in time.
I did. I changed my flight to a day earlier, so left the fam here in the snow, and I got out a little early, so I missed it. And the summit was wonderful. Tons of information, tons of friends, tons of new people I met. Great exhibit hall, great presentations and CLE, and then of course great networking and receptions in the evenings. So it was a good event as always.
Nice. And we were nominated for a Golden Gavel Award. Unfortunately, we did not take home the award, but a nomination next to all of those great brands and industry leaders is still a heck of a what's the word there I'm looking for?
It was an honor to be recognized as one of the nominees, and the event was great. It was a really beautiful event, and actually Omarosa was the MC.
Oh, nice.
So a little celebrity in the action.
Yeah, I remember Celebrity Apprentice.
Yep.
Omarosa and Mr. Trump. That was an interesting show. I actually watched all the episodes.
Yeah.
Where are we going next?
So next up is AHA in San Diego, and Jess already touched on that a little bit, but we are pumped to be doing their video once again for the actual conference. We do all of their B-roll and interviews about their membership and their programming. Oscar and Dario will be coming along with me this time, so I'm excited to have the team with me there. We'll also have a kiosk right near the registration area. So if anyone wants to come by and see us, we'd be happy to chat. If you need help with your marketing or video, we'd be happy to help, or just come say hi.
Yeah. Or, I'm going to throw this out there too. If you want a really quick turnaround on like a website SEO analysis or whatever it is,
Let us know.
you can give Catherine the information. She'll get it back to me ASAP and our team, Caitlin and Lucas and Justin and everybody else. And we'll try to get it to you either, that day pretty quick or the next day. And then we can share that with you. So feel free to do that. We'll be on standby while you guys are enjoying the nice sunny San Diego. I wish I was going and playing golf. Unfortunately, I cannot make it. But speaking of Injury Board, after San Diego, we'll be going to Injury Board Pathfinder
Yep.
in
It's in Keswick, Virginia, which is right outside of Charlottesville. It's a beautiful resort type lodge, and it will be April 19th through 21st. And Ryan will be there. If anyone's looking to see Ryan, he's been MIA for a while.
I will be there, and we are going to be offering an incredible opportunity for injury board members. We never do this. We never do one-off little video shoots. We are going to offer an exclusive opportunity for anyone attending Injury Board Pathfinder to get a bio video done by our team. I will be there, Catherine will be there, Dario will be there, and we will be doing kind of quick 60 to 90-second, very polished, high-end attorney bio videos, or if you'd like one for a staff member, that's fine as well. But we'll be doing these bios. Now, they're not going to be as, I will say, robust with, localized B-roll and localized firm B-roll and office B-roll that we would do if we were coming to your office. But they're still going to be very professional, high-end production. We'll still get great B-roll. It's going to be kind of fast, run and gun type style. They're still going to be very good asset for your site, for your social media, and it's going to give you a little introduction of what it's like to work with our team and kind of our process. We've talked at length before. We don't script things. This will be an interview. It's not going to take a ton of time, but the post-production is going to be as good as if, we were doing a full shoot for you. So we have never done this before. There's probably going to be some growing pains, but we've been doing this for a long time. So I'm sure we'll just, it's going to be a great success. We are limiting it to only 15 people during Pathfinder. I don't think we could fit in any more. We may have a little backup list, if you will, or a little list where if, hey, you want one, we'll get you on the list if it's after the 15. And if we can fit it in, we will. But I'm really excited about this opportunity for the injury board members because I know there are a lot of folks coming who are solo, who maybe can't afford a big video package, and or someone who just wants to get a taste of what it's like to have a nice high-end produced cinematic style biography video.
Yeah, definitely. And please reach out to me if you have any questions, if you're going to be at Pathfinder and want to shoot an attorney bio.
Yeah, and that information should be hitting the listserv here soon. I don't know if it'll be out by the time this pod goes out. Any other questions, for that, reach out to Catherine. Our contact information is always in the show notes. You know how to reach out to us. We'd be happy to discuss. We won't be doing a whole lot of pre-production meetings for these, but if there is something where you want to hop on a Zoom for 15, 20 minutes or hop on a phone call, we can always hop on and discuss.
Happy to.
So what's going on this week? Anything new?
Well, my kids finally went back to school, so I finally got back on the regular work schedule.
They're not used to snow in Alexandria, are they?
They're not used to snow around here. It was a pretty crazy storm. So anyway, but work-wise, we've had a couple of new clients sign on with us, which is very exciting. So we're kind of trying to get them up and running, and just getting the analysis of their sites and their content, SEO, social media, all the things that we do, getting them connected with paid ads. Our lovely marketing specialist, Mariah, has been looking at their logos and their brand and making sure that it's all pleasing to the eye. So just working with those new clients and getting them rolling with us, which is always very exciting. It's great.
Yeah, I love it. And, obviously growing is always great.
Yeah.
One thing, with this new client that we have on board, we've been dealing with some things with their other agency that they're switching from.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a bigger segment on this, a bigger pod on this, but everyone listening to this, own your data, know where your data is, have access to your data, and I'm going to create a one-sheeter of just really the high end, most important things that you need. As simple as analytics, as simple as call tracking, as simple as your website login, know where your domain is at, know where your DNS is at, know these things, own these things. wild right now that we are struggling to get access and ownership to some of these things that the firm owns. It just boggles my mind. If you have any homework, like, get that stuff dialed in and get the access to that. And we'll have, we'll talk about this more when I create a one sheeter, and Mariah's going to help me create something. She can just download it, print it off, check it, check box everything, and just, because some of this stuff, it is going to take a little time to make sure you have ownership, know where ownership is.
Yeah.
Social media, all these things, you need to know where stuff is at. You got to think of, like, I hate the scenario, but the hit in the car, or hit by a bus scenario, you need to have your things in order. Someone else knows where things are too.
For the legacy of the firm, for sure.
Yep. Well, what are you looking forward to doing this weekend? Are you looking forward to the Olympics?
I am pumped about the Olympics. I am also pumped about the Super Bowl, mainly for the snacks and the halftime show. Like most people, maybe not most people.
Who is the halftime performer? I don't even know.
It's Bad Bunny.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this will come out after that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to already say my prediction. We'll see if I was right.
All right.
It's going to be the Seahawks are going to win by 21 points.
Oh, wow.
I don't know the total score, but the Seahawks are going to win by 21.
I'm rooting for the Seahawks too, based on nothing, but I like them.
Well, I got to root for him because of Sam Darnold, who did a great job when he was quarterback for the Vikings. I'm glad to see his success with the Seahawks. The Vikings should have paid him the money, kept him on the team, but they did not. So kudos to the Seahawks for picking him up and giving him an opportunity, because I'll tell you what, he is shining.
Yeah.
And this isn't a football podcast, but I'm very excited about that. What's your favorite Super Bowl? Can I even say Super Bowl in the podcast? I don't even know. Is the NFL going to come after me? The big game. What's your favorite, the big game snack?
Well, my neighbors won't let me into their house if I don't bring my buffalo chicken dip.
Oh, yeah.
So that's always my signature, but I'm also going to make cherry chipotle meatballs. Those are always good. Not really for kids because they're very spicy, but those are good too. So those are my favorites.
That sounds great.
Really anything that's junk food for a football game is going to be delicious though, right?
So here's one of my easy to do favorite quesos that you can possibly get. So you get the Tostitos, what is it? Con queso, whatever it is. It's the one with the queso and the salsa in it.
Yeah.
You cook up taco meat. You put the queso in. Maybe you put some jalapenos in there. You put it in the crock pot. Oh my goodness.
I would like a rotel dip. We call that. Like,
okay. I don't like the rotel in there. I don't. Okay. Nope. And people make it with Velveeta and all this stuff. Yeah. No, it's got to be the toasty. It can't taste like cheese. It's got to be like, it's got to taste like the fake cheese. That's why I like it, because I don't really like cheese.
Yeah. No, that sounds amazing. That's right up my alley. I love it.
Yeah, you need some chicken wings.
Yep.
Some pepperoni, some crackers, some hell of a good French onion dip.
Yes.
I mean, then we're in. I'm in.
We're good for the day.
We're cooking. Do you like the commercials?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking forward to see what Doritos puts out this year.
We're gonna have to reshare that on our page.
I don't know if people understand. If they go to our website and look, we are all in on Doritos. So actually, I'm going to share this right now. When you see us at a conference going forward, you're going to be able to get some Doritos, because that's going to become our thing. If you go to our site, and this is because of Lucas, right? Lucas was looking at our site. He's like, man, looks like we got Doritos on our site. And Doritos, you may want to sponsor this podcast, even though we don't have any listeners. But if we do ever get listeners and you decide to sponsor us, give us free Doritos at our booth.
Yeah, promotion too. Come on.
Goodness gracious, if we get some branded Doritos,
that'd be awesome.
Could you imagine?
Cheese only, please, because it matches our colors.
Oh yeah, definitely cheese only. Definitely cheese only. Mariah says it is $8 million per 30-second spot this year for a promotion.
Jeez.
Maybe we could get a GAVL commercial, not for the Super Bowl. We'll just make one and just put it on
another one
somewhere else. Yeah.
And not $1 million spot.
Yeah. We'll get $8. Wow, that's crazy. $8 million. Well, that was a great podcast. I think so. If anyone listened to this point, thank you. Any closing remarks, Catherine?
What else are you doing this weekend besides Olympics and Super Bowl?
Probably change some diapers from the 2-year-old, entertain the 6-year-old, hang out with the niece and nephew a little bit. Really, that's about it. Gonna have fun. Just kind of relax. Hopefully the snow starts to melt because I am missing the golf course.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Catherine. See you next time.
Bye, Ryan.
Another episode of Behind the GAVL in the books. That was episode 3. I'd like to thank Jess Spino for joining the pod, talking about Injury Board, all they have going on, talking about the amazing membership portal. We'll have links in the description on how you can get more information on Injury Board. If you're an Injury Board member, get more information on the portal, connect with the team. I highly encourage you to utilize the resources that they're offering. They're working really hard to bring all of their members the best of the best information that they can and utilize it. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it, just like your marketing efforts, and just like you working with us. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. Talk, engage, collaborate, socialize, network, build your referral base. That's what it's all about too. Really build your connections, know your community, know your people. We're not here for a day job. This is our career. This is our life. Build the connections. That's going to help you succeed. Thank you to Catherine for jumping on as always, and we'll see you next time.